My name is Juan Pablo Letelier. I'm a member of the Chilean Senate. I've been in National Congress for the last 20 years. Energy is a central debate in Chile today, as it is in many countries. We don't have oil. We have a growing economy. We have energy demands. We need to produce more energy. There is not a consensus of what resources we need to use to produce energy. There is a consensus that the use of water is a good option. What is the biggest debate which exists today? If we allow there to be the use of big dam projects. Biggest example is the monstrosity that a private company wants to do in the 11th region, in the region of Aysén, in the Patagonia, to build a huge number of dams, there are 5 in total, and to produce energy here more than 1,800 kilometers south of the capital, and to build up a wiring system to cross, I'd say, 2/3 of the country to take energy towards the north. Now, why intervene this river, which is so far from where people consume energy? Why not be rational? Why do we do a double phenomena? Why do we do this dumping, this environmental dumping on this country, on the one hand? Why do we do this environmental dumping on this region? I'd say, generally speaking, in Chile, they are not aware of what Patagonia is about. I'd say there's a great ignorance in Chile regarding what this geography is about, what this territory is about, what treasures are enclosed here. I think the majority of Chileans are not aware. They're becoming aware, thanks to the tremendous effort some have made. But there's still much information to get out. They say we need to produce energy, but there's never the debate, an open debate of alternatives. And to take the discussion seriously as a national discussion. And I feel now we have the need for a more open debate within the country regarding energy alternatives, but we also need a stronger campaign abroad so that the multinationals, or those who sustain these multinationals, ask themselves if they're going to be responsible for destroying the Patagonia for a quick buck, or if they're going to be partisan of some effort of human conservation and a planet which today we know has limited resources, limited capacity of consumption, and which we have to take some hard options if we want our species to continue. And where we have resources which are in existence. I mean, the amount of volcanoes in Chile are tremendous. We have no geothermal plant. That's absurd. Yeah. And where we have a global possibility to make a contribution. And I feel that that is what we have to do. That is our responsibility. And I am of those optimists in this world who have learned from the activists who started alone and who showed the world that they were right, despite that everyone at the beginning thought they were wrong or that they were crazy. When some people started saying many years ago that this planet had unlimited resources, and a few voices said, that's not true, everyone thought that those persons, those activists, were extremely, extremely mistaken. Today, we know that they're right. And I am of those who think that these challenges are global challenges we have to do in Chile. It's for that reason that today it is more important than ever to have civil society acting, to have environmental activism as a first-line action, understanding that what is at stake here is that there's a technology, large dams, that we know, humanity knows what happens with large dams, and where we know we cannot recover the environmental impacts once this is produced. And hence we have to educate and take other options. I'm not saying that Endesa can't produce energy in Chile. Let them do it. We need them to do it. But not here, not in this way. With other technologies, less invasive technologies, they have to be compatible with the environmental rights and with the community's futures. This community will die if they don't have the possibility of tourism or other economic activities. With this energy plan, If it goes through, will be one, aluminum. Producing of aluminum, which is an old strategy some multinationals want to do. They've wanted to do it in this valley for a long time because they need huge amounts of energy. They haven't been able to do it in any other country in the world because it's a very contaminating industry. You need a huge amounts of energy. They'd have it here. That would be the only use of the Patagonia because it won't be tourism. People won't have jobs after the plants are produced. So what is being offered here is not only energy, it is the possibility of destroying this territory. And that's what we need to teach people, make them understand what's at stake here. We need public opinion to be extremely informed. Why a project in Patagonia would be disastrous for Chile, and not only for Chile, for this environment which we're trying to protect in the world. When there are power lines which are produced, it's not only going to be Aysén. This is going to affect all regions. And that's something there's not consciousness yet of what is at stake. The amount of land which is used for agriculture today, for important agricultural activities today, which will be lost. We're talking about thousands and thousands of acres which can be lost. We learn from our mistakes. Not only our political mistakes, but also that we can combine in a correct manner economic growth with economic development. Now, we cannot grow at the cost of environmental impacts that we have experienced. Now, Chile has learned what happened with the salmon industry, in which we had private enterprise which did what they wanted in our waters and destroyed not only their own industry, but they contaminated our waters. Well, we should learn from that experience that we need a state which is able to regulate to establish a better balance between entrepreneurs or activities which are taken on and environmental conservation, preservation, harmony. We can have a country in which we grow in harmony with our environment, and that is perhaps most what is at stake in Aysén. This is the part of the country which perhaps has been less touched than the rest of the country, where we have a tremendous responsibility, not only with Chile. This isn't a problem about Aysén for Chile. This is Aysén where we have rainforests which are few in the planet, where we have a Patagonia environment which is scarce on the planet, where we have one of the largest reservoirs of glaciers and ice on the planet. We have a responsibility. And I think that a small country as Chile, who wants to have economic growth, who wants to learn and to have social policies in a different way, who is able to learn from its mistakes in its relation with environment, as all countries have experienced, we also assume a global responsibility. There are technologies which are on the brink. We are at a time in which technologies can be used better for humanity. If we use all our intelligence as it's been used to develop arms of massive destruction, for arms for humanity, I'm sure we can break this say chain we have regarding the production of energy for humanity, so that the production of energy isn't just a quick buck for a few. We need to have a responsibility with future generations.